Hi, I'm Dwight Mills, and welcome to HomeScreen.
I'm Max Harding.
And I'm Jake File.
We got a pretty good episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking about some of the best co-op games in lieu of Valentine's Day, which is already behind us, sadly. But yeah, that's going to be our gist for the show, so we'll jump right into it.
All right, we're going to start out with Borderlands 2. This is a favorite among so many people, like gamers and non-gamers alike. It's a very, very, very fun game. Basically, what you do is you're on this foreign planet of Pandora, and you play as a vault hunter, which is a vault is this place of untold riches, and you can shoot.
Yeah.
The basic gist of the game is you shoot everything.
You're basically shooting and looting your way to this treasure. And that's kind of the campaign and the storyline to it. But it is a 4-player co-op game, which is why we decided to talk about it. And I'd say the first Borderlands kind of, I don't want to say redefined like first-person shooter role-playing, but it kind of did.
If it redefined anything, it redefined co-op.
Yeah, it kind of made it more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really, thing is, whenever you find money, there's not a lot of fighting between, oh, no, I want that money, I want the money. Yeah. Everybody gets, distributed all the money that you get, and you can, pick up different guns. You'll get fights over, no, I wanted that gun, no, and you get mad.
And the whole point is, the whole thing that made this game so successful in the first place is not so much the combat, because combat's pretty standard shooter 'em up, but the amount of guns and gun customization in this game is insane.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
And that's the drive to keep killing monsters and exploring, because you want to find another cool weapon and you can use your money to buy cool weapons and sell and trade them. It just goes on and on.
Yeah, there's nothing like that moment of sitting back, going into this really secluded area and finding this box and having a gun that does an insane amount of damage, into the hundreds of thousands of amount of damage.
I mean, there's all different types. There's the rocket launchers, there's sniper rifles, there's
the
SMGs,
pistols,
revolvers. And the whole co-op is kind of based around different classes. There's the Gunzerker, the Siren, the Hunter, and Zero, the Assassin. I think are the 4 different class types. And they'll have their kind of special, unique abilities that they use to fight through.
Yeah, the thing about how they can really get so many guns is they kind of have a algorithm in the game that just allows all these guns to randomly spawn. So every time you play the game, you're never going to find the same gun twice. Yeah, it's awesome.
The cursed gun's probably one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. It's basically a gun that all it does is annoying.
Yeah. You can't walk.
Yeah,
you walk super slow. It'll scream when you're reloading, and it doesn't aim at all. It's
Yeah, I remember I had to fight my way through that whole desert town or whatever, and you find it in some graveyard, and I'm like, oh man, this better be awesome. I pick it up, I'm like, this is so useless. Why would they put this in here?
Yeah, it's just little moments like that I love this game.
Yeah.
And especially when you play it with friends, because as we always say, everything is better with friends.
Yeah, it's always better with friends. I played this game over the summer. I borrowed it from a buddy because I was like, oh, I got to play it because I really enjoyed the first one. And I played it by myself, which was a big mistake. I couldn't even finish the game because I'm like, this just feels really empty. It's meant to be played with at least 3 other people,
And the thing is, the characters get snappy dialogue, and it's hilarious. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing worse than playing a co-op game alone.
Exactly.
And the playability through it again is it's when you can play it again, but then it all just higher levels and it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you level up, but it is kind of a role play game in that aspect.
Because you level up your character, you give them the Gunzerker, you get the ability to dual wield guns, and then you can just mow down anything that comes up against you.
Yeah, it's insane. I think you can dual wield rocket launchers too at one point, which is just I don't know why you'd want to do that.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. The name of the game is Ridiculousness. It's just insane.
And the animation and the graphics too are all kind of cartoony, which makes it that much more fun when you see something blow up. It's just this cartoony explosion of blood.
Oh man, honestly, Borderlands 2 is one of my favorite games.
Really?
It's up there. There's nothing like just being up on my in my dorm room. My friend across the hall says, "Hey Max, you want to play some Borderlands?" And I'll always be up for it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun game. And the pre-sequel just came out, so that's more co-op goodness. I mean, honestly, it is just more Borderlands 2, but
don't fix it if it's not broken.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, it's a good game. I'm excited to see if they come out with a third one, what they do with it, but I don't know. We'll see. Moving on, though, we're going to talk about LittleBigPlanet,
Yeah.
another famous co-op game.
Oh man, this game is for it's for PS3. LittleBigPlanet 3 is coming out for PS4.
Yep.
And this game is like, it's so darn cute. Oh my god.
It's like a little puzzle game where you have to go through the level and figure out, and you have to push certain buttons or push certain buttons back. And it's fun more to play with friends because there's a lot of more co-op levels. I know you can create your own levels.
Yeah, the customization in this game is actually pretty big from
Yeah.
what I remember seeing.
It's
You can make your own little sack man. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
Sack woman.
Yeah, Sackboy.
Yeah.
It's perfect to play with your girlfriend because, for you dudes out there, if you want to play some video games with your girlfriend, and you're like, oh, let's play some Grand Theft Auto. That's not really a good idea.
Yeah. This way, it's not that violent.
Yeah.
Her dad won't get mad at you.
But it's super super fun. Like it's just a platformer, but like there's so many different elements, and you could like customize your Sackboy.
And it's not necessarily just a straight 2D platform because I think you can go.
Oh yeah, you can go back.
Yeah, you can go back and forth.
And it's very physics based too. So I mean, it's not like you're not going to get the same result as what you want every time you push the button. You might react differently if you hit something that's spinning. You're going to go flying.
Yeah.
And it kind of always has that E for like the children's game kind of thing, but I mean it's fun. It's like a puzzle game. It's actually kind of hard at some points. So
I mean, if you play it just straight through, I think it's like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay.
But
if there's a lot of community and a ton of collectibles to go back and get to help customize your guy. You can get ridiculous little outfits. Like I think they're wearing a shark hat or something in this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like this level that we're showing right here is actually a user created level, and I mean it's like people put so much time and effort into this. It's impressive. Like it really increases the longevity of a game. Like I love it when the game developers like include the kind of they include
the
community support
into it.
Like on Steam they have Steam
The workshop.
the Steam Workshop that people mod games and create different scenarios. That's what I love about LittleBigPlanet is because it people can create their own like little scenarios, and it kind of allows it to like drive away a little bit from like the kids atmosphere because it's obviously meant for kids, but it's a really good family game, and like with the community what you can do is I once saw a Dead Space mod for it. I'm like, that's not really
kid friendly per se, but it definitely allows you to keep going and have a lot more depth to it than just the one straight playthrough, which is always enjoyable.
Yeah.
And is it only 2-player co-op? Yeah.
It's I think it is.
You can. I don't know.
It might be.
LittleBigPlanet 3 I know is going to be 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
And they're going to add, 3 new kinds of Sackboy?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, added into the thousands of different types of things you can do.
Yeah.
And it's, again, LittleBigPlanet, really, really good game.
Yeah.
It's,
And it's good because it's been successful enough to spawn off 2 more.
And it's like the
yeah.
same exact thing every time, and it's like people aren't like, oh, this is boring. This is the same exact thing. It's
they add just enough to keep it fresh, which is nice. And that's what I really like with games.
Yeah. Also very beautiful game.
Yes.
We're going to be right back. We're going to go to a quick commercial, but stay with us. So we'll see you guys in a moment here.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
I was at this party. The loud music, drinks everywhere, and there was this girl sitting alone on a couch. And then this guy goes and sits next to her.
And at first it was only a little bit awkward.
Then I noticed she wasn't really into him. He was being really pushy about everything. Come on, honey, I know you like it.
I realized what I was seeing, and
I didn't want to watch anymore. I wanted to get out of there. But what if that was my friend or my sister?
I couldn't just leave her there alone with that guy.
I stepped in.
I stepped in.
So I stepped in.
I went up and said, I need to talk to you really quick in private.
I just stepped in and said, hey man, she's not into you. This isn't cool.
He apologized and left.
He wasn't real happy about it, but he backed off.
It was super awkward.
But I'm glad I did it.
I'm glad I did it.
And I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I stepped in. I'm glad I stepped in.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. We're going to dive right into our next game, which is Left 4 Dead.
Oh, this game is infamous. Like it's from the beautiful minds over at Valve, and it's zombies. It's really the thing that defined the zombie genre. Like, it's a
I wouldn't go that far. I'd say almost redefine the zombie gameplay, because most zombie games up until now, I feel like, or before that, have been slow, like
Yeah.
Nazi zombies. You just kind of shoot
Yeah.
them. This one, you're actually like fearing for your life as you play.
Well, they're sprinting at you.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Like first time I played it, I screamed so many times. Oh my god! It's very moddable too, just like just like LittleBigPlanet. And again, this is all these games that we have today are super fun with friends, and again with the co-op sort of overlying factor that we have with this.
And this is a PC and Xbox game.
Yes, PC and Xbox 360. They came up with Left 4 Dead 2, which had more ability for melee weapons, and it had just expanded maps.
Yeah.
But I always have a soft spot for the original.
Yeah.
It just had more, I don't know, something about it that just.
And the environments for the two are very different. But yeah, this is definitely you need to have a good team in order to be successful on either side. Because the game you play is basically, you try and get from one safe house to the next as you try and progress through the campaign, and survive the zombie apocalypse. So you need to coordinate as a team of 4 people to get there safely without having you guys die. And you only have a limited amount of health, and you only get 1 health pack to regenerate your health and keep going, and so much ammo.
Yeah, it's not just regular everyday zombies either. It's there's special kinds of zombies, like a tank that will pick you up and throw you across the map and kill you.
And smack you.
There's there's smokers that will strangle you. There's
the hunter, which will leap out of nowhere with this scream, and it'll land on you and start ripping you up. It is freaky. I remember the first time I was playing, and when it's getting ready to pounce, it'll have this slow growl, and you'll be walking through a building, and you'll hear it, and you'll just be everybody stop what you're doing. There's something.
Pause the game, put LittleBigPlanet back in.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, the worst enemy in Left 4 Dead though is the witch. The thing is, what it is it's a female zombie, and it sits there and cries. It cries, and it doesn't stop crying until you disturb it with either your flashlight or you accidentally shoot it.
Yeah.
And it's in the worst places possible. It always sits in the doorway that you need to get to, and you can see the other safe house right on the other end there.
And you can't just shoot it.
No.
You want to sneak around it because it has a lot of health for
Yep.
whatever reason, and
it
will
downs
just
you
get up.
immediately.
It'll get up at you and scream and scare you, and it'll just run and slash you and get you down in a few hits. It is terrifying.
It is. The thing is, you're always going to another aspect of the game. If you shoot a car with a car alarm, it will start beeping and going off and attract all the zombies. The thing is, you'll always, when you play online, you'll always get that one person who says, "Hey guys, watch this," and they'll shoot the car, it'll go off, and zombies will horde you, and then you'll all die because.
Yeah, and you'll be this far from getting to the same house where you can't get touched, and they'll set it off. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I've experienced those people. I'm usually those people.
You're usually that guy. That's why we never play this game, Max. But there's not that many different weapon types in it. The combat's actually pretty fun.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
very
pretty
good
satisfying to be blown zombies because
explode.
Yeah, the physics in the game are nice. The graphics are very nice.
Yep.
But yeah, it definitely has a different co-op feel to it than most zombie games.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're not just trying to survive. You're trying to move on through an area instead of just sitting in a building wave after wave killing zombies.
You're trying to survive together too.
Yeah.
Because you're screwed if a hunter comes along and downs you, or a witch comes along, or a tank. Because you need more than one person. I remember I was playing this game with you a few weeks back, and we played one of the hardest levels in the game, and we could not get to the end. We were playing on the hardest difficulty.
It's frustrating because there are a lot of key moments where you're a teammate will get down and you have to go help them up, but you're we should almost leave them and just get to the safe house.
And the teammates go, no, come back.
Yeah, and
no,
you're
sorry.
you'll lose a lot of friends that way.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It is. At the
Okay.
same time, it's great.
We're gonna move on here to a little lighter game. Back to the kid-friendly game here. New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Yes.
This came out I want to say 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
least.
it's
when
been
the
a
Wii
while.
first came out.
Yeah. The thing is, it's Super Mario Bros. what else is there to say?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta give your little brother the Luigi, so. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't throw a fit.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be Luigi.
But yeah, it's
No, nobody wants to.
again, this is one of those games where you can play it alone, I guess, and speed through the level and be like, yeah, I beat the game. But you're gonna have more fun if you're sitting around with your 3 other friends in the same room, hopping around and jumping off each other's heads and busting blocks. It's definitely a very fun game. And Mario's always been fun to play with friends.
It's like it basically like with all Nintendo games, it always preys on just the aspect of fun.
Yeah.
Not like I gotta pad my stats or I gotta get to the next level. It's just like, hey, let's play some Mario. Sure.
Yeah. Let's sit down.
Yeah.
And have a stress-free game.
Yeah. Well.
Well, I mean, if you jump on your friend when you're over a pit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You shouldn't say stress-free because like there's those moments when you get to like that one place where you just keep dying and dying and dying.
And one of my favorite things about this game is you can pick up your friends if you like. You go up to them and you can carry them and like hop through the map with like them on your back. So if you're playing with like your really younger brother who just can't jump over there for some reason, you can go back and literally carry him through the level.
Gives a whole new meaning to carrying the game.
Yeah, carrying the team.
Or you could like walk up, unplug his controller, and
Yeah.
just like sit there and be like, "Oh no, you're in my backpack, or it's invisible. You can't see it. It's camouflage."
Yeah, it's fun. Like if it basically just uses the regular formula from the original NES version of Super Mario Bros. And it does it well. It really does. They came out with a Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. U, and it's the same thing again, except the person who has the control pad adds blocks for like really long jumps.
And stuff.
Yeah, you can like save the person.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Integrating like level customization in with the play.
And it's like it really depends because there's like a versus mode. Like the person can get extra points if they kill the person, as they're going
Just
along.
let them die, and the Wii U
Yeah.
remote goes through the TV.
Never play it again. Or you can help the person along and you can like play it that way. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like I've always had a soft spot for Nintendo games because the Super Nintendo was the first game system I ever owned and ever played, and
It's always held a spot in your heart.
Yep, always in my heart.
And another thing about this is it's got really good difficulty progression. You don't start out the game like, this is how it's going to be. You're going to die, and you're going to have to replay this level. No, like you get in there, and you're like, oh, nice. It's a nice, grassy, sunny environment. But by the end, you're in like Bowser's castle where there's like lava shooting at you, and you're like sweating, like, ah!
Knees weak, palms are sweaty. There's bone on my sweater already.
And there's also a lot of secret things in it too,
Yes,
like
a
hidden
lot of
level
Easter eggs
parts, a
and-
lot of Easter eggs, which I think Nintendo's always kind of been famous for hiding Easter eggs in.
That's always a nice thing because you can like be sitting on the internet and it's like, holy cow, there's this whole other world
Yeah,
in this
I didn't
game.
know I could get there.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. Like again, it's Mario. You can't not like it. Like,
Yeah.
like I've never heard a single person say I don't like Mario because I can't, I don't know, I can't quick sculpt or something like that.
But yeah, the world's definitely, they throw a lot of twists into it.
They do.
It's not always the same level you're playing through. There's always different challenges to overcome with the same mechanics. You got to jump like this, but it's a sand pit pulling you down, not a wind gust blowing you up. It changes it up, which is always nice in
Yeah,
games.
it's nice. And I liked how New Super Mario Bros. Wii added the tilt function with the Wii controller. You'd come across this place and it's like, oh, I can't get past this big wall. It's like, oh, if I tilt the Wii controller, the things
tilts
tilt
the
on the
whole
TV. Yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
yeah. That doesn't happen till like later maps, but it's fun. I really like it.
And I always enjoyed the power-ups you could get, the flame flower and the ice flower. And like, I think in the Wii one, they introduced a few new ones, like the little helicopter spinny hat,
Yes.
where if you shake the Wii remote, you go like flying up and then you hover down. Yeah. So that's always fun because you get those and you're like throwing fire at Koopas or whatever.
Goombas.
Goombas, yeah. But yeah, and it's also one of those games if you want to speed run through it, like
Exactly.
the professionals do. They like go through hitting every button at every right time and just speed through, which is insane.
Kind of like with Crash Bandicoot. You would know about that a few days ago.
Well, actually, Sonic was inspired by people speedrunning Mario.
Really?
Yeah, that's how that was
That's
created.
how that was done.
I didn't even know that.
Dang.
Well, the more you know.
Well, we're going to go to commercial real quick here, but we'll be right back with some more fun co-op games, so stick around, guys.
You know me, I was watching TV10 all night.
Really? So was I.
Yeah, well, let's go do it again.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to.
Hi, welcome back to HomeScreen.
We're going to move on to another favorite segment of ours, which is our recommends. So we're moving a little bit away from the co-op games, but I'm going to start off with mine, which is a little game I picked up on the Indie Humble Bundle. It's called Intrusion 2, and basically it's like a little side-scroller shoot 'em up.
Yeah, it's kind of like Metal Slug meets Contra almost.
Yeah. It's a fun game. I haven't put a lot of time into it, but it's a game that's worth checking out. I mean, I haven't found anything like it out there. It's pretty like over-the-top, action-esque. Like he was riding a wolf. You've got these insane guns.
Or
You're fighting like some alien robots that come down to Earth, and you're like trying to save everyone. But it's a fun time because there's a lot of fun. I don't know, action sequences. It's nice when games can make you feel like you're actually in that action. You know, like
Especially a side scroller. That's impressive.
Like there's parts in it where you're like sliding down a mountain on a sled of metal, and you're like shooting at guys coming over you, and you're like, wow, I actually feel like I'm in this action movie. Like, and it's really fun to do that. And you fight some insanely hard and awesome bosses and monsters, like you see in the video. Yeah, just these giant, insane mechanized things. I wish a lot of games would do that more. They'd have more boss fights.
Yeah, that's the thing I really miss about like the older games from like the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah.
Now we don't really have the big boss fights. Like Borderlands does, which I
Borderlands
love
has the
about
boss
that.
fights.
But like now it's no, you're just gonna mold it through.
Yeah, it's pretty linear.
Yeah, it's linear. I just really wish. I just want to beat up this massive alien and be like, destroyed that sucker.
Yeah, like you feel so accomplished when you find its weakness and you're like able to bring it down after like attempting it so many times. You're like, I finally beat that boss. And you can brag to your friends that you got past it.
Yeah, you'll get that a lot. Like I play what was it, Metal Slug with friends of mine, and they'd always have that big boss at the end. We'd always, get in the line and be like, all right, like let's beat this guy. And
break it up and strategize. But anyways, it's a fun game. If you can get it for cheap, like $1 or $2, I would pick it up. Like I said, I got it on the Humble Bundle. I don't know, it might pop back on, but yeah, just a fun side scroller if that's your thing.
Yeah. Well, up next is my recommend. It's called Rise of Nations. Now, this is an RTS. I love RTSs, and
I actually recommended it to you.
Yeah. You were the one who said, Max, you got to get Rise of Nations. I'm like, all right. I got it actually during the winter break, and you played it so much that it's made it onto my recommend. Imagine Age of Empires meets Civilization. Now, basically, what you do is you start out with this main city, and you got to build all this stuff off the city, and you start out with like a set border.
Yeah.
And you build more cities to increase your borders, attack other cities. It's just really cool. It's really intuitive. It's really nice. The version we're showing right now actually is the HD edition that came out.
They re-released on Steam.
Yep, and super glad they did that because it looks better. It plays so much smoother. And it really is good. The thing I really like the most about it is like you can like capture other cities. Like Age of Empires, you just destroy each other.
Yeah, you don't really have a set territory.
Yeah.
You're just going and killing wherever you find the units.
In this one, you go up through like technology trees, and you can like make a economy, and it's like you can trade with other civilizations. It's cool.
And you choose what type of government you want.
Yep.
It gives you different kind of perks. And like you do start out in the Stone Age, and I think you go all the way to like
the modern age. Yep.
the Information Age, and you get like tanks and stuff. And it's always kind of fun when like your enemy's way behind, and they're like in the Bronze Age with like spears and shields, and you're like rolling in the panzers.
It could be like Civ 3, where it was like the spearman could beat a tank or something.
Yeah, just stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, but I love RTSs, and it really gets the RTS formula down without being too complicated. Like the thing is, it throws enough stuff at you to keep the game, fresh and I'm not going to say stressful, but interesting as time goes on. But it's not overwhelming. And that's what I love about it.
It's learnable.
It is.
And I gotta say, there's no greater feeling than when like you build a city or you take an enemy city and you can see like your borders on the map, like they'll spread out and push back, and you're like, I own this much more of the map now. Like that's so cool.
This is mine now. Put the flag in the ground. It is fun. Like, and the cool thing is like when you try and capture an enemy city. What happens is like those borders will like move back and forth and like become contested, and like he'll be sending in units and I'll be sending in units. It's like, I gotta get the city. You gotta hold it for like 2 minutes, and it's interesting and it's fun and it's a good game.
So Jake, I know you have an interesting recommend here.
All right, so my recommend, well, here's a big kind of spoiler. We might do a nostalgia episode pretty soon, so I didn't think we'd fit it all in, so mine recommend is a nostalgic one. It is Spyro the Dragon, and a lot of people played this game. Oh, everybody loves Spyro. See, everybody. This is the first Spyro. I've been playing this with my girlfriend for the last month, so I guess this is kind of a duo thing. I mean, she does really well. I help once in a while. I do like the levels where you have to get all the things once in a while, but she holds her own. She passed the video game test, But no, it's just it kind of brings it back. I remember my brother actually got this for his 4th birthday, so I was like 5 or 6, and I just remember playing this all the time, and I can only beat the first one all the way through. I mean, I played Year of the Dragon, which is the 3rd one with the dragon eggs. I think people remember that one, but the 2nd one I only really played the demo.
Because what did this first come out on?
PS1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like 98 or something, 96. It's a long time. Yeah.
And if you look at the gameplay right there, it holds its own.
Yeah.
Like that game, like it looks good. Like for 1996, 1998, that is
they got
good
flying
looking.
mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at those real physics.
I remember my friend that had the one for the PS2, I think, and he was like, it's really fun, you should play it. And I was like, this looks stupid. You're a purple dragon. Why would I want to do that?
Yeah.
Where
Dude,
are you
we're like in
killing
8th
guys?
grade.
Yeah.
We need to be cool. I was playing dragon games. Like,
This is dumb. But regardless. It's
like if you guys don't pick up on it already, Dwight and I haven't played it, but from what I've seen, like I've sat in on when you and your girlfriend and I were watching it or playing it.
when I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I think she's just using me for Spyro.
That's what I think so too.
That's the obvious answer.
This is. But no, it's one of those games that kind of like you can go back to and play it. I mean, I have it on my PlayStation 3, but I really don't play that much anymore on the PlayStation. But I don't know. It's like $6, so it's like you have it forever, and you can kind of just come back and play it once in a while and try to beat it all the way through.
Nostalgia. Well, I'm sorry, guys, but we're out of time, so we'll see you back next week. Not at the same time.
No.
Nope.
On Tuesday at 7:30.
Yes.
Back to our regular scheduling.
Yep. Sorry about that. We're just getting pushed around all over the place. So next week we got some ideas for next week.
Yep.
Send in your most nostalgic games.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll try to put them on the show,
Yeah.
and we'll have some more recommendations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter at TV10 HomeScreen. Also find us on Facebook at TV10 HomeScreen. And catch us next week at 7:30.
Thanks
Tuesday.
for joining us tonight, guys. We'll
Thanks,
see you
guys.
next week.
Thanks.
Well, that was a good episode, I feel like.